Game Freak has finally done it. They finally released the official titles of the next Pokemon games, and it might not have been what you were expecting. In case you've been sworn off the internet, have been lying under a rock, or just don't follow the Pokemon franchise, you might have missed that they just recently announced the new games dropping this year on the Nintendo Switch, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. Get ready for a healthy amount of theories, top 5 videos, and so much more, as I am beyond ecstatic for these games. As you can probably tell by the title of this video, however, today's video is talking about whether or not the new Pikachu evolution Gorochu is going to be included in these new Pokemon games, and how I think they're going to accomplish this, and also what it means for the future of Pokemon. Gorochu is a long-lost evolution of Raichu dating all the way back to Generation 1. Game Freak and Nintendo recently announced this Pokemon, and I'm sure you have already heard about it. Gorochu appeared to be the second evolution of Pikachu, giving him a Stage 2 evolution like Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander. What's curious, though, is that they scrapped this Pokemon just before the game's release, and according to them it was due to a balancing aspect in the game. Gorochu seemed to have thrown the entire game's balancing on its head. I wonder what that means. Could this Pokemon have been too powerful for the generation at the time? I'm not too sure. Let me know in the comment section down below on why you think he was pulled from the game. It's interesting, however, that even though they finally announced this Pokemon's existence, there is actual evidence to show that Gorochu was intended to be in the original games. Remember on Cinnabar Island in the Fossil Restoration Center? There's a very confusing event that occurs. In one of the rooms, there's a man who wants to trade his Electrode for a Raichu. Who in their right mind would do that? Considering you can just get Electrodes in the power plant, and how in this game Raichu appeared to be the better Pokemon, it just wouldn't make sense to do this trade in the slightest, like at all. It would make no sense. For those of you who actually ended up doing this trade may have found the secret ingredient to exposing the supposed existence of Gorochu. After the trade happens, if you go back to the man, he says that Raichu you traded him evolved. What? You mean to tell me that I traded away a Pokemon that could evolve without me knowing that it could evolve? Why would I ever do this trade? And why would Game Freak keep this in the game if Gorochu wasn't supposed to happen? It's not like Game Freak could have accidentally wrote Raichu in the text box and meant to have another Pokemon you sent him to evolve. It's a freaking Raichu. They would need to code the trade to be for a Graveler or something for this text to make any sense. If this isn't crucial evidence to the fact that Gorochu was supposed to happen in Generation 1, even though they've already announced it, to back up the idea that it was intended for release, this is pretty crucial evidence right here. Like, I'm not gonna lie, guys, this is very important, especially for the rest of this video. Now that the history lesson is over, let's get into why Gorochu, in my opinion, will be in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Not gonna lie, the history lesson really proves why Gorochu will be included, and that's why it was so extensive. They say Gorochu was taken out due to balancing reasons. I don't believe that would be an issue anymore, considering the vast amount of moves that they've introduced since then, and also the 3 Pokemon typings of Dark, Steel, and Fairy being introduced as well. The game is definitely more balanced nowadays than it was back then, that's a definite. So the fact that Gorochu is still left out due to balancing reasons really doesn't apply anymore. Again, tying into the whole history lesson aspect of this video, and the fact that this Pokemon was actually sort of in Generation 1, even if it was just in the slightest bit of the notion, like in a text box, the Pokemon was still included somewhat. They left the name out, they left anything about the Pokemon out in the game, but the evidence of the Pokemon's existence is still there. Unless, for whatever reason, the Raichu that we sent him changed forms because of reasons. Now that we've kind of touched base on why I think the Pokemon will be in the game, I think it'd be pretty interesting to talk about the different ways that they could include this Pokemon into Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Do you guys remember the Rockruff event back for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and how it was the only one that could evolve into the Dusk form Lycanroc? Wouldn't it be interesting if our starter Pikachu was some quote-unquote special Pikachu that could evolve further beyond Raichu? Not to make the whole, Dragon Ball Z reference quote shenanigans, but what if our starter Pikachu could go further beyond? I wouldn't necessarily take it all the way down to the notion that, Pikachu would evolve into a new evolution because it had a special ability, but it's interesting to see how They've already implemented this in the past. They've already implemented a special evolution depending on an ability that a Pokemon has. So why wouldn't they just incorporate that, especially with revisiting Kanto after all these years? Give Pikachu the evolution that he had in the past that you guys scrapped. It would be amazing. And considering with this idea in mind that Gorochu would be a Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu exclusive, what do you think Game Freak will do with Let's Go Eevee? Do you think they're finally going to do what everybody wants them to do and release a new evolution, perhaps? The talk of a new evolution, however, will have to wait for another video. I'm sure this video's already gone on way too long, and these videos do take a long time to put together, animate, edit, render. Y'all already know the deal. If you guys enjoyed these videos, smash that like button down below. You guys, your support's greatly appreciated. Leave a comment with what your guys' ideas are on my theory. If you think it's logical, if you think it's going to be included, if you like the history lesson I gave you, let me know in the comment section down below. But until next time, I'm going to get up out. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.